Quiet Fire 88.5 2 Triple R. You can find out more on my Instagram at Quiet Fire Radio. Triple R 88.5. Sorry about those technical difficulties. I believe now we do in fact have Zach from Double Vanity on the line. Are you there?
Hey.
How you going?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so relieved that after those technical difficulties we've got you on the line. I'm thrilled to have a chat after our interview got broken up the other day. I'm sorry about that.
That's all good, it's those times.
So tell me about your new single. You're in a band called Double Vanity, and you've released a single called Double Vanity. How did your first release become self-titled?
Okay, it's one of those things, it's an obsession with, concept, rock operas, concept albums, themes. I'm a bit of a storyteller. I like a great story. So Double Vanity itself was a bit of a cheesy theme song, but, I thought it was time. I haven't heard a theme song for a while, probably because it's a bit of a risk.
Yeah.
But I thought, hey, this is a great way to get the new band name out there. Pretty good publicity kind of stunt in a way, and it kind of grabs people's attention. It's repeating our name and the band name. But Double Vanity itself is a bit of a dreamscape nightmare in itself. It's a bit of an interesting look at, I guess, capitalism and the machine wheels.
Absolutely.
DIY culture and our consumer obsession with DIY.
Well, aside from those sort of more heavy ideals, and not to push you too much away from them, but I just wanted to stay with the aesthetic itself a little bit more, because everything is in these kind of quite strong pinks, not so much pastels, but pink, purple. That palette goes across both the album cover, across all your social media, across the music video. I take it that was deliberate, was it? Who does all that design for you?
Yes. Well, we work closely with our label, Psychic Hysteria, and there's lots of talent there. Our guitarist herself, Sarah Blady, Blade Runner Productions, produces a lot of film clips. So, yeah, there was a lot of thought behind brand and, what we would do in terms of, sort of grabbing attention. Of course, I think who doesn't love pink? It kind of connects us to our roots. But, yeah, a lot of our sort of photo shoots, our original photo shoots, we had this idea of kind of goths on a beach to create that kind of dream/nightmare kind of vibe. And we thought, what better way, having a pink haze or a pink smoke and a pink lake. We actually did go down to a lake in Melbourne that is naturally occurring and turns a really bright hue of pink for the photo shoot. So it's actually all natural. Some people have said to me, is that photoshopped? How did you get these amazing photos? But it's actually totally unphotoshopped. So
amazing.
Yeah, it's actually quite amazing. You should get down there one time and see it with your own eyes. It's quite fantastic.
Well, I think those photos, am I right, were taken by Kalindi from your label, is that right?
Yeah, Kalindi did actually took the photos.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
Shout out to Kalindi. She was a very old friend of mine.
Yeah. Oh, great. Okay. Yeah, she's quite amazing. Her poster art and things, her design for the single, the artwork there, and she used a friend of ours, Jordan Wood's artwork that we had commissioned specifically for the single. And Jordan herself is a really amazing artist.
Now, Zach, you've just released your single, and you're kind of angling toward a long player toward the end of the year. Can you give me an update as to where that's at? Are we getting more singles coming out, or are we sort of waiting patiently?
We have what is mostly an album, and we have these 6 fantastic songs all ready to go, and sort of decided, what, this is actually amazing, and we have 2 tracks in the works that are just waiting to be kind of mixed and mastered with Now Ansai, who's an amazing production guy. He's actually, one of the most sort of just prolific and amazing sound engineers in Melbourne, I think, personally. So we want to really put his magic touch to those last 2 tracks to complete the album, to make the concept come to life, really. So we do have a really strong set of songs that we're really excited about and we can't wait to release. And I can't wait for the next track. I can't speak too much about it, but it's kind of, there's a little bit of excitement in the air about that one. So
it's all very cool. It's what's kind of got me so excited about your project. I mean, aside from you guys having such a lengthy background, you're obviously really passionate about surrounding yourselves with the right people now. Anzai, who you just mentioned, of course, very involved with Cash Savage, one of my favourite bands, and just an absolute powerhouse of the Australian music industry. Nozu. And all of Psychic Hysteria, aside from my general friendliness to the label guys there, they're just the stuff they're putting out there is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, fantastic. Like, genuinely, some real talent. I mean, the artists that we work with are all really passionate about DIY as well. So, I mean, Kalindi has her kind of her working name, Orbit Arcade, that she works under. So, yeah, you can check out her Instagram page for that. But yeah, now Ansai, I mean, certainly working with Cash Savage and Sue Shan and a host of current Melbourne bands when he's not touring and travelling around the world, managed to squeeze us in. So yeah, we were pretty stoked about that.
Tell me a little bit about yourselves, and so many people I know made that move to Melbourne around a decade ago, facing sort of stifling creativity in Sydney. Has that move paid off for you? What have you seen in the last 10 years culturally in Melbourne that's sort of kept you there and makes you feel it confidently, the cultural benchmark of Australia?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, I love Sydney, don't get me wrong. I mean, I miss Sydney. There's so many great things about Sydney. I've heard, there's so many venues reopening, the Lansdowne, and everyone doing great stuff at the moment. So Melbourne, I guess, was a bit of a slow burn for me to get back into things, I guess life gets in the way. But, we did have we had 2 years off, I think, in the entire time that I've been making music. It's probably, it was a couple of years. And, there's just such an amazing and rich scene in Melbourne. I can't even count the amount of all-girl bands that, are proactive out there playing, gigging, supporting each other in the community. There's hundreds. So it's just so rich and rewarding, and it's just such an amazing experience to be, a part of. So, yeah, I think Melbourne just holds you once you get here, and as a musician, it's really hard to walk away from when there's just so much support. I've got just so much respect for a lot of the bands. There's so many people, running their own studios, recording, doing just fantastic stuff.
Absolutely.
And they're all, and there's a really great thing. I mean, there always was that in Sydney, created that for ourselves. So I guess that DIY ethic is really quite strong in Melbourne.
Yeah, cool. Now tell me, I must applaud all of you that I have been fearing personally a little bit of, people are still being creative, but a lot of people are holding back on releasing their current output. Tell me a little bit about your shifted approach to releasing a single and ways to garner attention in an atmosphere where you can't actually go and launch the single live. What have you guys done to sort of get a little bit more attention and go through that process digitally?
Well, I think we had a bit of a strategy, just kind of staggering. We had a bit of we planned that the first track would be a bit of a slow burner. It might get attention in that the name, repeats the band name and that sort of thing, and the concept album being quite a strong story, kind of dream nightmare. We thought we'd get a little bit of attention, but, it'd be a slow burn. I guess the current climate has made things a bit tricky for people, for artists in particular. But I think it's just a matter of, there is quite a lot of noise online at the moment on socials with everyone being in lockdown. I think that's a natural thing. But, we're seeing some really great art coming out of that space as well. I mean, we ourselves created a little video of our own where we sort of mimed our track for our single launch the other day.
It was very cool. That was what my question was leading to. It's a very cool video. I would very much recommend anyone to give it a check out online.
Yeah, I think the link's in our bio from our Instagram at the moment. It's just going to be up there for a couple of weeks, and then we'll probably take it down. But, you know, it was a little bit of fun just to keep ourselves entertained. We had a smoke machine, which we were lucky to borrow from our Psychic Hysteria mates down the road. And we've got a studio, the Pink Lodge, that we had set up. And we thought, just let loose a little on this one. So a bit of miming and a bit of, you know, costumery, a couple of wigs, a few eyelashes, drag queen eyelashes in there. And you have a faux single launch. I think these are the things that we're resorting to at the moment to keep ourselves entertained.
It's very cool. It's very cool. I've really, really loved, I mean, I'm not sure if you followed the Isolate Festival, but there's some people who are just doing incredible work, donating incredible amounts of time to keep live music happening all across the country and give us the opportunity to be entertained when we're sitting on our couch at home. So,
absolutely. I was pretty excited to hear you playing Quarantina Arena. I've been following her. I've been following Isolate. You know, Psychic Hysteria themselves, with Zigzag and a few other bands, ran some live-to-air stream shows actually just before the Isolate show. So we were pretty stoked with that. That was fantastic fun. We all sat around with Bebby and, you know, hitting that like button over and over and enjoying ourselves like a regular Friday night.
So good.
So there's a lot of great stuff happening in the space, and I think it's just so important for us to keep visible online and to remind people, hey, we're here, we're not going away.
That's right.
While the industry has been pretty hard hit.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I guess radio itself, you know, is something that people are still returning to and are still, I think radio is, you know, such an important media for people to kind of stand by, and a lot of people are ringing into radio. Sarah happens to work at PBS FM, which is a big sort of big community radio station in Melbourne, alongside 2RRR. And yeah, the feedback that they're getting, just, you know, people being so supportive, so many people signing up, you know, for the first time, 10 years and whatnot. And I just think it's so important just to keep radio alive right now, because they're the ones really that I think have made Melbourne music so strong. You know, Melbourne being a flat city, we've got such a massive kind of outreach in terms of accessibility to so many different radio shows. And I really feel like community radio has been one of the big things that's really supported live music in Melbourne. So, and the country itself. I mean, I don't know what we do without community radio.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's a very, very important time. Zach, thank you so much for joining me today. Do you want to give me a shout-out? If I want to find out a little bit more about Double Vanity, where can I go?
Yeah, sure. You can check out our Bandcamp page. You can go to Psychic Hysteria's Bandcamp page. And they've also got a website. There's some great merch on there. There's some other fantastic bands you can check out. I recommend doing that. You go to doublevanitymusic.bandcamp.com. Same for Psychic Hysteria. So, yeah, check it out.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been great. Have a great rest of the day. Stay safe. I'm going to play Double Vanity by Double Vanity. I would encourage anybody at home to jump on the Bandcamp, jump on Facebook or Instagram and give them a like. Check it out. Definitely check out their virtual single launch that happened the other day. It was absolutely, it was very cool. I did like it.
Great.
I liked it a lot. It's very cool. And to anyone else who's interested as well, definitely don't ignore the Isolate Festival and any of those digital festivals. I haven't actually checked if Isolate is happening again this weekend, but from all accounts, I think it will be happening again. Thank you so much for your time today, Zach. Have a great rest of the day. Stay safe, my friend.